Hi, this is Firefriends Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to create a layout. And this is part of my heirloom, heirloom layout that I'm creating. And these are the two photos that I am going to scrap. I already put this one photo on a photo mat, or actually this is a Polaroid frame that is actually part of the paper pad. And then I took one of the other papers from this collection and created my own Polaroid frame and placed the other picture there. So if you look at the stack, I love this stack because it does have a lot of little icons, but this Polaroid frame is perfect for this technique. So I just cut the middle part out, and then that's what's going to go over here. And I'm thinking about stamping some sayings and stuff on there. So if you've been watching my videos, you have seen me create certain layouts using this paper. And the layout right now that I want to create is for actually this piece here. So I want to create, it's going to be an 8 by 11. I mean 8.5 by 11. It's going to fit on here. This is the last layout that I created of school pictures. So now I'm going to put pictures of my husband's father's father, well, my husband's grandfather. So this is my husband's grandfather, and this is when he was younger. So I'm going to go ahead and scrap these two pictures on here. So let me go ahead and get started. So what I did already, I already went ahead and took an 8.5 by 11 and I put some pattern paper on it from the paper stack. And the reason why I backed the paper from that stack is because it's very flimsy, as you can see here. So I really want to stack it up so that way I'll give it some weight. And then I just started getting some of my leftover pieces, and I'm going to start using those. So this piece is I think it's going to look well there. Now I wanted to show you something here. When I placed this picture here, I was actually going to use this frame, and I was going to lay that there, and then I was going to use this frame and put it here. But when I did that, it just didn't match. It was just not quite the look I was looking for. So then I substituted this frame, and I used this paper that looks resembles closer to my Polaroid. So that's what I like here. So I'm going to go ahead and use this frame. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start laying a lot of layers. Now I'm going to try to create layers on this layout because I'm not that great with layers. So that's why I'm trying to get a little better. And I love how people create these layouts that have tons and tons of layers, and they just look very nice. So I want to see if I can do something similar to that. So I already cut out some pieces of paper, as you can see here. So I'm just laying my elements in my layers to see how it's going to look. And now I'm just bringing over, I usually cut a lot of embellishment, and that embellishment I created with my Gypsy and my Cricut. And then of course my feathers. I'm going to put them there. And just trying to see where, kind of getting an idea of where I'm going to put all my embellishments. And I love this technique of wax paper. It really helps me kind of figure out where to put a title without having to stick it down. So now I kind of have a general idea of where I want to put my embellishments and where I want to stamp. So I'm taking everything out, and I'm just inking the edges, and I'm using Stampin' Up! Basic Brown. Just making sure that all the edges have zinc. And the theme of this album, every page will have a stitch, will be stitched. We'll have some inking, and we'll have some feathers. And also we'll have the corners rounded, but because this is an 8 by 11 or 8.5 by 11, I'm not really rounding the corners on this particular layout. So here I sewed everything together, or I sewed my pages. Um, and now I'm just placing down the layers. And I'm putting some more. Now in a moment, I'm gonna go ahead and stitch that little area there. And I really love this handheld sewing machine. It kind of um, helps because I don't have to kind of bring my big sewing machine out. I can easily take that little handheld sewer and really do a quick stitch on my layout. So now I'm just kind of putting a little bit of adhesive on the pictures. And there's my feathers that I'm putting on every page. So I'm going to use some foam dot to kind of pop the title up a little bit. And then that little tag or that little saying card that I created with my gypsy, I'm just going to put it on the side with this Eiffel towel. And that's pretty much it. I'm kind of done with that area. So now I'm ready to start working on the cluster underneath my Polaroid. And I'm using, there I'm showing you I'm using Stampin' Up! Basic Black. And then these stamps that you see there, I actually got those stamps and they were $1 in the dollar bin. And it says Life in Pictures and then a little heart that says Life. And I've used those stamps over and over again. I think that's one of my favorite stamps of all the ones I have. So, you know, I felt like it still needed a little more in clusters right next to that Polaroid. So I put a strip, a banner, and that helped ground my title. I decided to put the title underneath the Polaroid that you see there. So that strip really helps ground that title so it doesn't look like it's floating in midair, but that is anchored on my page. So those little embellishments that you see there, those birds, I just purchased those at Joann's and they were in the dollar bin. So I'm gonna use one of those later, but then I decided it still needed something on in that area where it says Grandpa Bob. So I decided to use this little strip, like a measuring tape strip from the paper pad, and I just placed it there. So, and I also wanted to use those little pearls, but I decided to use the brown ones instead of the big black pearls that I had earlier. So I used a bird, and that's it for this layout. So now I'm just giving an up and close look at all my embellishments and on the layout. And that's pretty much it. So now I'm just going to place it in the page protector. And I hope you liked this tutorial and come back to see me for some more. Thank you for watching. Bye now.